Good morning. I'm happy to be here with you today, and we at the Institute for Solidarity in Asia, together with our friends in the National Competitiveness Council and the Center for International Private Enterprise, or CIPE, host this public governance forum twice a year. This is our second forum for 2012, and as our theme suggests, we are excited about the big ideas and big ideals of our distinguished guests and participants in this forum. Let us begin with the welcome remarks from Mr. Guillermo M. Luz, the co-chair of the National Competitiveness Council.
Thank you, Marides. Good morning. Fellow advocates in public governance, led by our GCD chairman, who is joining us this time around, Jess Stanislao, Frankie Aismendi, friends. I'm happy to be here again, and I'd like to congratulate ISA, CIPE, and all our other friends in putting this together. It's become a regular fixture in our calendar, and a very welcome one. Now that we're doing this twice a year for the last several years, and I see that the crowd is growing, and I'm also happy to see that we have new faces in the crowd, and in the panel discussions I'm sure we will have new faces again in the Revalida panels. Over the last 2 weeks, by some coincidence, we have been participants in a number of conferences, and all of them focused on the topic of governance and the economy. Last week on Monday, September 17th, the government's mid-year economic briefing with the economic managers, held here actually at PICC and the other building, opened with the theme, Good Governance is Good Economics. Also on Monday, the Asia Society opened its two-part series, the Philippine Transparency Forum, where it invited speakers from the United Kingdom and Indonesia to speak about their experiences in battling corruption and promoting good governance. On Tuesday, September 18th, the Makati Business Club, the European Chamber, the Management Association, and its partners held its second annual Integrity Initiative Summit. Since its launch last year, Integrity Initiative has signed up over 1,500 companies to its cause to promote good governance. During the second summit, Social Weather Stations presented its 10th SWS Enterprise Survey on Corruption. Then on Wednesday, September 19th, the Asia Foundation organized a second briefing on the SWS Enterprise Survey in the morning, while the Asia Society ran the second part of its Philippine Transparency Forum series with a workshop with the governance cluster of the cabinet. On the 20th and the 21st, Thursday and Friday, the Ombudsman organized and chaired a conference on the APEC Code of Conduct of Business Against Corruption, with speakers from Transparency International and the United Nations, as well as from every APEC member economy. And today, we are gathered once again for the semi-annual Public Governance Forum to review the work of agencies and institutions enrolled in the performance governance system using the Balanced Scorecard management tool. Is this all mere coincidence or some act of grand design? Okay, I think maybe grand design might be pushing it a bit too much. Having been in the planning of a number of these conferences, I think they were all by coincidence, but certainly a happy coincidence, kind of like the perfect storm, all four fronts all moving at the same time. Whatever we choose to call it, we are clear about one thing. It is a realization that governance matters, that it has a direct impact on the economy and a direct impact on people's lives. Indeed, the topic of governance and bureaucracy and bureaucratic reform play an important role in global competitiveness reports. It is, for instance, covered in the World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Index, the IFC's Ease of Doing Business Report, IMD's World Competitiveness Report, Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index, and Heritage Foundation's Economic Freedom Index, to name a few. I am pleased to report that in most of these indices, the Philippines has been on an uptrend in the area of governance and anti-corruption. We are up 23 ranks in the Governance and Institutions category of the World Economic Forum, and up 5 countries in the governance sections of the IMD report and in last year's Corruption Perception Index. In the latest SWS Enterprise Survey on Corruption, just released last September 18th, the government's rating from the business community with respect to its fight against corruption registered a dramatic rebound since 2009, the last year the survey was conducted. Of 25 agencies reviewed, including the Office of the President, all but 2 reflected improved scores, with the Office of the President jumping from a negative 37% net rating to a positive 81% net score. So I want to repeat that. All but 2 agencies reviewed by the business community improved their rating in terms of their sincerity in the fight against corruption. In case you're wondering who the 2 who dropped, okay, and I think this is important because then maybe we ought to raise the flag here as the challenge for the next 12 months. And remember that the survey was taken last in 2009 and again just in the last quarter, last 3 months, past 3 months of 2012. The 2 that dropped were the Supreme Court, but they still remain positive. That's the good news. They went from a higher positive to a lower positive. But more interestingly, the Commission on Elections, who went from a negative to a lower negative. And that's something I think worth watching because, of course, filing of candidacy is in another month and elections are in another few months. So something that bears watching, just those 2. And of all the agencies, those of you in the business community will be interested to know, the lowest among the agencies is the Bureau of Customs. Nonetheless, an improvement, but they are the lowest of the agencies. So, what do these ratings mean anyway for the average Filipino? In 2 words, savings and quality. If we just take a look at the Department of Public Works and Highways, one of the top-rated agencies in this balanced scorecard system, as well as an example, we will see that its reform program has had an effect on its ability to deliver public works programs on time, at the right cost, and with the right quality. After getting bogged down with procurement reform and fixes last year, it has run ahead of pace consistently this year and bid out projects with as much as 30% savings, an estimated billions of pesos worth of savings to the public works program. So it's just an example of what can happen when transparency and governance become a core part of an agency strategy, and as we're now beginning to see throughout the whole government. So what else can we do, and what is the way forward? Because we started from a relatively low base, we still have a lot of work to do to improve our situation. Let me just highlight 4 things I think that we can try to do moving forward. The first is we need to clean up and streamline the bureaucracy at all levels, local government and national government levels. We propose 4 simple steps, which we call ESSA. Eliminate, simplify, standardize, automate. That's the route to streamline. Not in any other order. We cannot start by automating before we eliminate all the unneeded steps and simplify them. So it's eliminate, simplify, standardize, automate. That's the way to streamline. Less bureaucracy will obviously lead to less chances for corruption. And this is clearly measured in the IFC's Ease of Doing Business survey, where I must tell you, in getting a business started, we are 158th in the world out of 183, and we are the lowest in ASEAN, far and away. Okay? So we must do something about this, and that's just one example. Don't even get us started on the court system and on other permits and licenses that we need to do. That's just how to get a business started. Second, we welcome the government's program through the open government partnership for more social audits. These are performance audits